leave it alone. I think at some point that he just shows that
children.
Hold on, we're having a children's talk. So I guess you just leave it alone.
Look at my face. What I'm saying.
Woo! What's up, y'all?
How y'all doing?
Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Over and over and over again, time and time again, just leave these kids alone. Leave grown kids alone. Happy birthday to you, Iris.
Leave grown
we
kids
appreciate
alone.
you, and even to everyone who is celebrating a birthday. Grown kids, leave them alone. Let them make their mistakes. It's like they call you mom, dad, mom, dad, mom, and then you rush to figure it out, and they already have their own mindset what they're going to do.
Absolutely.
Leave grown kids alone.
Absolutely. Run your pressure up.
I ain't gonna run my pressure. I'm gonna do just what I did. Okay, if that's what you want to do, it's fine by me. See, when they're real small, you can just beat their tails and give them some chicken nuggets and tell them,
"Hey, mama,
go to bed." What's going on, Eddie Shaw? You done had it.
Eddie.
What's going on with you, Madu? What's going on? How are you, Tiara? Listen,
Stefanetta.
Oh, wait a minute. Ava's birthday is today. So Ava,
hey, Ava,
happy birthday to you. 1,000 people under the sound of my voice. He got that daddy look. He sure do. Get a daddy look. Go on, give him to him, Fred.
They already see it. They know it.
Good God, today. Oh, grown kids. Grown kids. There should be a clause that after a certain age, they ain't cute no more. They ain't cute no more. Corey Page, what's going on? They're not cute anymore. It's like you just look at them and you just be like, you just stare at your grown kids. You just, like, why can't I just choke one? I just want to just take and just squeeze the air supply like this, and then when their eyes start bulging, and they go, and you go, let it go. And then you feel that? And you just let it go. All right, I brought you in here and I take you out. I just wish, could that be legal? Just for children only. For children only. All right, here we go. Good morning to you all.
You talking about good morning?
Because it is some parts of morning, somewhere here.
Somewhere it's morning in some
good
part of the
mornings,
world.
good afternoon, good evening.
Good morning.
Whatever part of the world you happen to be in. All right, here we go with these topics. So this topic is going to be...
Open says me.
Open says me.
Poof.
And poof. Poof. So here is the topic.
Did you like I Dream of Jeannie?
I did.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows. So.
It was. You like all those... Gomer Pyle was on the other day.
Gomer Pyle is one of my favorite shows.
But it was on. When you said you couldn't find it on Netflix or whatever,
I can't
it came
that.
down the timeline.
Yeah,
no, it was on.
Yeah, Gomer Pyle.
TLM, TCL, what of them shows have it?
TCM.
So here is the topic. We're going to let Fred open up the topic. 1,300 people on the sound of my voice. This going to be good.
So.
Go click tag and share.
Click, tag, and share. So, as we were, I think what you guys have saw is different areas of, you know, how me and my wife came together, how God brought us together, and how we've been growing. Really? Are you cleaning your teeth?
No, I'm thinking about you because you said when we first got together.
Oh, you was...
Go ahead, baby.
You see?
Go ahead, bye-bye.
So, one of the things, what you guys have saw us is grow, or what you're seeing us growing into one another.
Right.
Right? And it's a process. It's a process. And what happened was when we begin to deal with building the church, right? Because we was to this place where we went to a place that we never visited before. So when we came together and began to build the church, we began to discover different ways that my wife deals with things, different ways of that. Why are you smiling?
Oh man, would you just hit it. Hit it, Fred. Hit it.
See, that's the difference.
Come on, hit it.
The difference is she just wants me to rush into it. Now, do you want to do this or do you want
No,
me to
I'm
do this?
going to stay right
Okay.
here. But you need to go and hit the gas, Fred.
Well, say it the way you say it.
No, go ahead. We're balanced. Remember, we're balanced.
We're balancing. And so,
Fire and ice.
in learning one another and dealing with things, you often open up doors that maybe you didn't try to open. And what me and my wife were talking about is if a door is open by a partner, either way, and a reaction happens, whose fault is it?
Okay, so that's the way you say it.
That's the way you said it.
Right?
Okay.
That's the way you said it.
And I said the way you said it.
So I'm going to say it the way I say it.
Say
all
it
right?
the way you said it.
If you are married or in a relationship, because everybody on this timeline is not married,
Serious relationship.
and someone reaches out to enter into your relationship,
Okay.
who's at fault?
Oh.
Who's at fault?
Now that is not
Now
our
that-
segment of the
That
message.
ain't awesome. Like Lauren, hit the gas, Fred.
Okay.
Hit the gas. So I'm going to hit the gas because, I come out the gate swinging. If you're married, if you're separated, if you're in a relationship based upon both of you deciding that we are in, you both converse and said we are in something. If someone else comes into the relationship or marriage who's at fault because it says open says me.
I let him
Now-
I let him in or you let him in.
Right,
or whatever.
somebody let the dog in. So therefore, I am asking this valid question. Now, let's interact. Who's at fault? Is the person who is now infiltrated or entertaining the person wrong that knows that they're married, or the person that is married? I say both of them are wrong. Okay, Rolanda Amaka said the one who opens the door. Okay? All right. Hey, what's going on, Mona? Okay. Someone said, okay, this is good. This is me. The wedding vows, or because we live in a society where it's just people who are in serious marriages, because truth be told, there's a lot of people that don't want to get married in this all type of relationships, so let's just honor them all for argument's sake. If you're in anything solid, especially a marriage, if you are separated, you's married.
You still married.
You're still married. I think a lot of times what happens is people think because we're not in a relationship, or
we ain't on the same address.
yeah, but you're still married, unless they are certifiable. And I think the problem that people have with this topic, it says open says me. I am married. Everybody know that. You cannot have a conversation with me because I understand that some conversations are predatory conversations. That means what you laughing at, Fred?
My predatory.
That ain't a word.
That's a good word.
Okay, because English is your
Go,
thing.
baby.
I'll jack up a word in a minute. Just like I'll jack up a song.
Baby.
It said make a joyful noise unto the Lord. It said noise. It didn't say it had to sound good.
I like the way you said it, baby.
All right,
Keep
to
going.
glory be God. So predatorial. So sometimes people will fish around for conversation or converse with you simply to see if that door is cracked. So they can come in and entertain something to have your relationship worse off than it is right now.
Yeah.
So the open says me means that somebody has got to stand guard despite y'all having a hard time in this season of y'all's relationship. Agreed or not?
I agree with that.
If you are a wife and you let somebody come inside, put the cup down, Fred. You really gonna do this thing?
That's the good part. Okay.
Can you take the top off?
That's fine. Keep
Adele
going.
Brown, what wrong with him? What's wrong with him, Adele? If you're a married woman or a married man, if you entertain a conversation, if you give out your phone number, if you have dinner or drinks, or meet at the water cooler, somebody opened that door and it was you. Men, same rule applies. Because just because you guys are having a difficult season doesn't mean it's open season. I'm going to say that again. Just because you guys are having a bad season does not mean it's open season. I can't stand when people people have a difficult time in their marriage and they think that this is a free-for-all. You can't get it together with the person you with.
I think it shows that a person, any person that does that, I think that's something that's already been there.
What do you
mean? If there can be a problem,
okay,
like everything, because one thing about me, and when it comes to marriage, especially my marriage, a problem can't be something that just makes me say, oh, and we look on the outside and see, if you start doing that off rip, there's something already wrong anyway. Like it's almost saying that we can't have any problems or serious problems. Because what we're talking about now is serious problems. Because when that happens, if somebody opens up a door for somebody, it's because there's probably some serious problems there and they don't know how to get past it.
Okay.
I say that, and I guess I can agree with you what you first said, there's probably a problem and I probably can blame both people.
Okay.
But not at the same
when you
level.
Say both people, which both
okay,
are you
so if somebody opens a door, man or woman, right? They open the door because of where their marriage is or relationship is, and because somebody is not properly positioned to cover or to keep themselves together. So what I'm saying is, like, the person may have not opened the door, but you ain't been there for them either. You're not there. The conversation ain't there.
So the topic is open sesame. So what,
right.
Fred, listen, let me tell you something, Fred. You know, there's a little side of me that ain't been delivered yet. It's the fighting side. Okay. I'm still, remember, this first lady fight. Let's just give a station of identification. Okay. The new first ladies fight. We ain't going, no, stay out his face. We ain't gonna tell you but so much now. Stay out his face. So are you saying that somebody in the marriage or relationship dropped the ball?
Yes.
No, wait a minute now, Fred.
That's good.
So,
no. And you ain't, I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about the one that opened the door.
Hold on, wait. I'm black.
Ahead.
You know I'm black, right? Okay, you see these lips? You see it? Okay, I don't know what you got to do. I don't know if you got to take a sip of that again to clean this up, because you going left. This ain't going to end well. Are you saying that because a person dropped the ball, it gives them a right?
Oh, heck no, I ain't saying that.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying, now, you know the way...
You got to clarify, because everybody was going like getting understanding.
The way I think...
Because you just made it seem justifiable for all the creepers during this time, the creepers and people.
I'm saying, now, let me talk from my perspective. From my perspective as a man, it's my responsibility to cover my house regardless of how we're feeling.
Okay. And
to make sure that I'm always in a position, I don't care how mad she is, I'm still in position, and I'm not gonna let myself fall to a place where I allow another door to be open.
But
that happens. Yeah. And most of the times that happens when the other person will just say, well, you know what, forget it. Well, I'm gonna let it be what's gonna be. Well, no, you don't do that.
Do you remember this movie with Chris Rock? And the movie was I Think I Love My Wife. And he was trying to go out with the chicken head.
I couldn't get into that movie.
I know you couldn't, baby, but this is relevant right now.
That's good.
Okay, hold on, watch this.
Pull the trigger then.
He said he was trying to get out to go out with the mistress. And he had already come home. And she said, start a fight. She said, start a fight. She said, start a fight. Because he couldn't find an excuse to get out of the house and hang out with her. I believe when a person has it in them to cheat or to step out the relationship, they will find any excuse to do what's already predicated in their heart and in their mind.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't stop a person from cheating if that's what's in their heart.
Now, somebody ain't gonna want to hear that today.
Now, that's the truth. You could buy her You could make her peaches out of your own garden. You could buy her 19.
That's a proverb, baby. Go ahead.
Proverbs, Jill Scott 27. You could buy her Range Rovers, rings, and the finest of lace fronts. If she wanna dip, let me tell you something. As a woman, you could rock the mic. You could contort your body. You could do Kegel 11 times in a minute. You could make the baddest meatloaf and the greatest apple pie. If they want to cheat, they will find an excuse to cheat.
They're going to cheat.
And that's where the responsibility, at this point, when you're going out with somebody and that's just their makeup, that's what they do, you forgive them and they find themselves cheating again. You say we're going to work it out, we go to counseling, and they find themselves cheating again. Those are what I call habitual cheaters.
Right.
Habitual cheaters. This is where the rubber hits the road for me. Y'all go ahead and click tag and share because y'all know I'm raw, rugged, and real. The rubber hits the road for me, not with any mistress or any woman. The rubber hits the road for me with a person that's consistently allowing them to do it. Because they tell you, I have a problem. And this problem ain't had nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. I got a problem with my flesh. I got a problem with trust issues. I got a problem with how I was raised. I got a problem because I'm in this marriage and I'm realizing that maybe monogamy is not good for me. Whatever your light bulb is at that moment, a person that's a habitual cheater, the person that I got a problem with is the person that habitual cheater is married to. Because people do what you let them get away with. So many times, we deal with people and they deal with habitual cheaters and you forgive them and then you back in our office. You forgive them and then you back home. And then eventually we stop looking at them and we be looking at you like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Because you're the problem.
Yeah. I think in a lot of those cases though, especially that I've saw, and you probably saw the same thing, a lot of people just don't want to be lonely. They don't want to lose the person. Yeah, that's what it is. Some of them don't want to be lonely.
Buy a dog, get a cat.
They're so in love with that person that they don't think that they can ever find somebody again. It's not.
That's fear.
But that's right. But that is some of the reaction of people. And because they just figure out at some point, this is what they say, at some point she'll get it right. At some point he'll get it right. But like my wife said, you have to be mad with yourself because what's happening is, first of all, you don't love you. Because if you loved you, you wouldn't allow this thing to keep happening to you, because what's happening is that person is keep doing what they're doing, but you are being broke down to a minimum.
I think, and I'm going to be honest with you, there's a side of me that's comedian, but I'm going to talk reality. I think when you experience in a relationship somebody cheat on you for the first time, that caused a conversation as to if you guys are going to reconcile, if you're going to forgive. We need to sit down and we need to have a conversation or dialogue as to what happened to allow this password of open says me to be given to the other person. Yeah. I think if a person call you and you're a married person, shame on you as a wife. Shame on you as a husband, because you allowed that person to come inside a space that you took an oath for. And if you're a person that calls that person or gets involved with that person, they tell you that you're married, you're wrong too. So both individuals are wrong. But the person's neck I want to break is the person that allowed the phone call to happen in the first place. And you know you got a husband and you know you got a wife. And even if he is trying to fix whatever it is broken, give him that by saying, listen, I am going to allow you and I to fix this, because it becomes problematic when somebody else comes into the relationship that's already broken. It doesn't even give us a time or an opportunity to fix it.
It doesn't.
So you put yourself in a worse situation than you've already had before. You create more of a mess. I think those are conversations and dialogue that people need to say, listen, what happened here? Why are we here? First of all, forgive me. And I believe because when situation the first time, if you guys going to reconcile in whatever the relationship is, we got to have a dialogue as to what happened. I forgive you, but now what you've got to do is you've got to help me regain the trust that you violated or you allow somebody to violate because you were supposed to protect me. And I think those are conversations that don't brush them under the rug, because what happens is you now have got to take whoever the violation was, whoever the violator was, you got to take all of your trust and put it in the hands of somebody who you have hurt in order to reconcile and save this relationship. It feels good. My husband, he ain't got to ask me for password the first. Not at all. Fred has a right to my phone.
And vice versa.
Right. He has a right to pick it up and return phone calls, answer messages. There is no such thing as a password in our house.
Yeah.
And that's what's the first problem is that the trust factor starts with the phone.
Yeah.
Open says me. The trust factor starts with the phone. If you married and you dating, and the first thing them jokers do is y'all together and they turn their phone face down, there's a problem right there. That's a red flag. And I think what you got to do is you got to build trust back up when it was broken. So Open says me that is someone that despite us fighting, I'm still going to protect my marriage.
But babe, this is like, I think a lot of people would not be in the situations if you would not shut down your intuition at the front door. I always go back to how we started.
Yeah.
She ain't give me no flags. Now you gotta realize when a person have been wounded and trust.
Yeah.
When a person have been on the other end of the spectrum, and they don't turn their lights out.
That's okay, baby.
And had things happen, man, you don't want to be hurt no more.
Yeah.
So when we came together, my phone was always out.
Right.
When she called me on FaceTime. I'm answering the FaceTime. There was not one time when she called me and I wasn't consistent. And sometimes you go and you put up the evidence, or you give up. You say, well, you know what? I'm not going to even worry about that. He done dipped off, or she done dipped off to go answer the text. Or you can't get in their phone, you don't know their codes. All of these are signs.
Yeah.
No matter how much you think you're in love with somebody, if somebody is giving me evidence that there is a problem, I got to trust my intuition. And you got to trust your intuition that what you're getting is true, because what you're going to do is you're going to get yourself in a situation. And you're going to keep falling for a person that ain't failed for you.
Right. I want you to click tag and share. I want you to click tag and share about 3 people. I want to bring something to your attention. My husband and I were having a dialogue, and we were talking about, we talk about everything, but we were talking about trust. Trust doesn't work one-sided. Trust does not work one-sided. Even Christ himself doesn't want a one-sided relationship. Why should you?
Yeah.
Trust doesn't work one-sided, because if you're the only one that's dealing with an individual and you trust them, and you trust them with your passwords, and you trust them because you tell the truth, you trust them, and you realize they're not being reciprocal and doing the same thing, right there you know that you have a problem, because 9 times out of 10, the person that does not give you a consistent form of trust like you're giving them, you're going to be hurt. Because they're showing you from the door that I got trust issues. So if you got trust issues, guess what, Bobo? Oh no, we got trust issues. Because if you don't allow me to be honest and put my trust out there, and it can be reciprocal, then we're not walking together, so we don't agree. And I think a lot of times what happens in relationships, you want people to trust you from the door. And that works with a lot of people. But you only trust from the door if those individuals are showing you, you can trust me this way because I am going to give you the same respect. You could be married for I don't care how many years. If that trust is not being reciprocal, you have a problem. You have a problem. And I think in relationships...
But you said it to me the other day. If you're the one and everything is open. Like, everything is open. Every phone is open. Every account is open. Everything is open. But you're the type. Can be somewhat like myself. I don't check. I'm going to pick up on the fact that you don't check. And I'm going to make you feel good about you having everything open, but I've already picked up on the fact that you don't check. So I'm going to use the fact that you don't check, and I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. Because you really don't check. And see, that's the thing. You have to know who you are in that relationship. Because sometimes you being the one that trusts and put everything out, but you really don't go behind and check, you still put yourself in the position to be hurt.
You have to use discernment for sure. It's like, you know, I think trust is, I think when you say open says me, I got to give you the key.
Yeah.
When I say open says me, I got to give you the key. That means that you could trust me to go across the street or around the world in 30 days and know that we won't violate each other.
Right.
Do you know that's power to be in a relationship or anything where you feel 100% complete trust that I don't have to worry about that. And I think people don't realize the power and the safety in having trust in any relationship. You sleep better at night. And I don't understand how come people don't like this type of peace. I don't understand why people don't like a non-toxic lifestyle. I don't understand why people like to trust the whole plethora of excitement of getting caught. It is the dumbest thing I ever heard of in my life. Go hang gliding, but don't mess with people's heart because you like to live on the edge. And then the thing that pisses me off is when they get caught. Shut up and reap it. It kills me that people will cheat on you and then
and turn around and still make you still the problem.
Cry, yeah. Oh, narcissistic back. Well, I can't say that word. Okay. You cheat on people, and then when you cheat on people, you feel, oh, I can't believe you know you did it because you had an opportunity to put your bra back on, put them raggedy, holy drawers back on, and leave that hotel. You decided. It's open says me. That means you watch it. You don't even have an opportunity to ask you for my phone number. There's peace in that. You don't even have the. I'm not gonna give you giving. You don't have. Please don't get in my inbox because I will turn my inbox around real fast. First of all, Fred, if it's a man and he in my inbox, what's the first thing I do? Fred,
yeah, answer
that. It is peace and security and having a two-way relationship where both individuals have. Do you know that's peace? Everybody looking for peace, and peace could be found if you just trust each other. Peace. Yeah. It's peace in knowing that I could trust. Listen to this. I don't care. You because you know I don't. I could trust you to go to Charlotte and find good ground, but instead you find yourself calling and going out to dinner. Oh, that phone call coming. Stay tuned. And have dinner with somebody when your husband sent you to do a good deed for the family. What kind of stupidity is that? My husband can trust me with everything. And I think the password to open says me is you gave somebody the key.
Yeah.
Don't get mad when you get caught. If you took an oath, it said to what? Forsake.
All others.
All others. That's what it said. Go on, click, tag, and share. It said forsake, not half.
Read. If somebody, again, if you hear and you seeing signs with a person says one thing that I never do is take my wife for granted. I'm listening. I'm listening when she happy. I'm listening when she upset. I'm listening. Because that's what one thing people do. You get comfortable. And then when you get comfortable, when they do get upset, when your wife does get upset or your husband does get upset, you stop listening. Because you just, whatever. And you stop listening. And what's coming out of them is things that they might be premeditatedly thinking about doing. And that's when you don't say nothing. It's almost giving them a leeway to open the door for something.
Fred, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Hold on, wait a minute, bro. I understand what you're saying, but subliminally, I have a very creative mind.
Okay.
But when it comes down to relationships, My mind is I got blinders on.
But that's you, baby.
Hold on, wait a minute now,
You
bro.
gotta let me finish.
Hold on now. You done had plenty of time to finish.
Go ahead. Hit the gas.
I'ma hit the gas.
All right.
In a relationship, blinders should be given like this.
Amen.
Like when you see a jockey and he is riding a horse, those blinders are put on a horse specifically so that he will win and he can only focus on what's in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage, a ring is a blinder.
Should be.
It should be.
It should be.
I don't see left. I don't see right. I don't see the X in the back. I only see what's in forward. Right? I only see, this is a blinder. I'm telling you, anytime you get approached by a woman that's like pow, 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 and she, whatever it is or whatever, I don't care if you at the copy machine, I don't care if you on a Zoom call, she forget to put on the shirt, I don't care what it is. Take your marriage finger.
See, but that's what I'm talking about.
Hold on. Take your wedding finger and go just like this. And then take the other one and go like this. If you guys are in a committed relationship, I don't know what y'all doing in y'all's relationship. I don't know if you got promise rings or what. But if you guys are in anything committed, just do like this. Practice it. Go like this. That means I don't see left. I don't see right. I don't see forward, back. I only see what's forward. The reason why the jockey does this is so he won't lose focus on what's in front of him. So if I'm fighting, I'm focused.
Yeah.
If we ain't having sex tonight, I'm focused. If you say something I don't like, I'm focused. And I think the problem is the focus is you've given people passwords that they should not have in your life, and you drop a blinder.
Access, baby.
It's all in the access.
Yes.
And so even Fred, when you say, well, if he wasn't telling him in the door, I don't care how many.
No, let me explain that, baby.
Okay, you better, because I promise you, we got peace in our house and we like it.
Of course. What I'm saying is I have to intentionally listen to, and that's just not me, that's anybody. You have to intentionally listen so that a door does not open.
But Fred, this is just my thinking. I don't care what happens.
And see, but this ain't people. See, this is how it should be.
Yeah.
But see, it's the same way. Now, you done saw me before. I can be in a room full of people and I walk past and I don't see nobody. I ain't got to put my hand up.
Right.
I just don't. But this is where we have to get people at, because people are not there. They're not here where me and you are, where we do this.
Right. So
this is where we got to get people at.
So
I'm talking about this is where people are. This is where I'm talking about this couple that is saying, what? Man, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. You do what you want to do.
So let me give people something to think about. The 2,000 people that click out and tell me, don't you care about the penalty?
They don't.
Okay. So if you're in something and people don't care about the penalty, then you don't need to be in it.
You don't need to be married. You
don't need to be in no relationship.
Please don't get married.
No, you don't need to be in no relationship.
Don't be in no. I just had to, and I had to counsel this young man, and I had to advise him.
Yeah.
Don't get married. Now listen, I can tell a lady loves him, but he ain't in the headspace to marry nobody because he's happy being single. And my advice was listen, man, don't mess that woman life up. This is not what you want to do. He is not the jockey with the blinders on.
But I think
he's the one that is looking everywhere and what he wants to do. And I think there are a lot of people that are in these relationships that are not ready to put blinders on, baby. They're not ready to be focused.
No,
but
they're not. But
this is what they'll do. They'll put somebody in place for a filler. That's bad and that's ugly. You'll put somebody in place to fill your time. You'll take away their life to fill your time and to give them false hope about a position in a place that they'll never be.
I think people have to really, you have to be vigilant and you have to watch. I think people have to understand that when you allow people in any relationship that you're in where trust is, and the trust has been violated, I think people really need to think about the penalty.
Yeah.
And I think people need to
What's the penalty, baby?
Death. Will come. Ask me that. Death. That's your penalty. Death. That's your penalty. Are you asking what's their penalty? Huh?
Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
No. I don't know what they penalty, Brandon, but yours is death.
Oh my God.
I guarantee you will pick up a weight that them suckers won't have no business. No, I will tell you how you gonna die. I already told you. I will send Adele. First I was gonna send her toenails. She can't get that. All right?
Oh my God.
Amen. Glory to God. You didn't even help me hide the body. Now, for y'all, I think that everybody should think about the penalty. If you're in any type of relationship, you have to ask yourself, what is the penalty mm-hmm. if I violate this relationship? What is the penalty? What you laughing at? What, Fred?
I'm not really laughing.
You going through all these
No, I'm not laughing, but this is really serious. Because I think there's some people that live in the penalty.
Explain that.
I think that some people have violated in ways mm-hmm. and done other people wrong, and then they wanted to get it right with somebody.
Okay.
And the penalty sometime is what I planted then came back. And now that I want to be right and I want to handle it right, I'm reaping what I sowed.
Okay. Because
the penalty is the same thing that you have done mm-hmm. is the same thing that's going to find you. Mm-hmm. That's when the scripture say your sin shall find you out.
Right.
The same thing that you done. And I think now, and I know everybody doesn't want to hear that. Mm-hmm. But the truth of the matter is, baby, the way that you did that woman, mm-hmm. or brother, the way that you did that woman mm-hmm. is the same thing that has come back now mm-hmm. to bite you. And now you want to get it right. Mm-hmm. Now your heart is right. Mm-hmm. Now you want to really chase righteousness and you want to do what the Bible say. Mm-hmm. But you still ran into what you planted before you wanted to get it right.
Mm-hmm. You think a lot of times people don't think about the penalty.
You don't.
They don't think about the karma, if that's the word you want to use. They don't think about
use it.
Yeah, they don't think about that. You know, at some point in time, this is going to come back to you because it's you planted it full circle. I think a lot of times what happens too is if that relationship doesn't work, you'll find yourself getting involved with someone that you do love, and that person will be that seed that you planted in that last relationship. That does happen. You know, if you see the story of David and Uriah, right?
Yep.
The story of David and Uriah.
Came back and got him.
It came back and unfortunately it bit him in the butt. Yeah. And so I think people don't think about the penalty behind letting people inside. And I'm going to say this. Have you ever thought about the penalty could be that you broke your children's heart? My hot flashes are starting. It's true. Mm-hmm. You know that when you have a family, and I'm going to talk real, no filter, and I am not laughing, as comedic as I can be. You don't think about the penalty that because you let somebody in your relationship where your children thought that you guys would work things out, and or you guys were working things out, or whatever it is. Think about looking in your children's eyes and you got to explain to them that you were the reason the marriage didn't work because you let somebody come inside your bedroom, your household, your trust, your finances, your relationship, and you had the key to shut the door, lock it, because it says open says me. You let them in. And you got to look at your children and you got to explain that. I just gave you something to think about.
Because it's going to happen. And one day, they may not say it. If they're young, they may not say anything. But one day, that conversation going to come.
Yeah.
And this is the thing about children. You think they don't know. Mm-hmm. But they not only know, but they can describe to you every moment.
Yeah.
They little recorders. And one day, you have to answer that.
You have to answer. You have got to answer that call.
Ooh. Or answer the reason why they can't get into a good relationship.
Someone said, "Who you in my house?" I ain't gonna even say your name.
Or answer why they're now mimicking dysfunction.
Right.
Because it was what was shown you. They saw daddy going inside the garage to go and talk on the phone.
Yeah.
Or they saw mama going inside the bathroom.
And you'd be surprised how many kids don't say anything because they're trying to protect the parent.
Yes.
They're children that see the violation.
Absolutely.
And they don't say anything because they're trying to protect the parent.
Absolutely.
Do you know you put your children involved in your mess and they didn't even sign up for it? They're just trying to protect the other parent. And I think a lot of times you need to think about the penalty behind what you have done or what you are doing, because some people right now are doing that right now.
There's a penalty for it.
There's a penalty for it. And you don't think about the penalty that, you know what, only thing that you had to do is be like, hold on, wait a minute, I don't want to do this. Someone said, you definitely in my house. There's a lot of people going up the timeline, and I'm not going to mention their names, but they're saying, you're in my house. You're definitely in my house.
And I think that it has happened to people that some people even think that death would be easier. But I'm going to tell you, there's some things that you have to live through.
I think, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think, and then we're going to hurry up and go, I think that when there is a violation. What?
I'm still laughing at you so crazy too much. You gonna die.
Oh, no, you gonna die.
You gonna die.
Oh, yeah, you gonna die. I think when there is a situation and someone has violated the marriage and it caused the relationship to break up or to dissolve, and the children ask, well, what happened to daddy or what happened to mommy? I believe that that person should say, go ask your father, go ask your mother, go ask the person. And you don't say it like this, but in your mind, let them have a dialogue with the person that gave the other individual access.
And open the door.
And open the door. Because you owe them an explanation as to why you decided that you were going to step out of this marriage or step out of this relationship. Give them the reason. Watch this. Don't let me make up an explanation for you because you're telling the child that I am going to cover for this individual. Don't give them a pass. Don't give them a pass at all.
You already gave him 2 minutes.
Yeah. You know, how do you move on from violation, someone said. I guess the question is, someone just asked, well, how do I move on from violation? Are you guys still together? Because you can move on from violation very well. The word of God said, if you go into the city and they don't receive you, you shake the dust from your feet and you move on. However, I would have to know more. Are you guys still in a relationship of any sort? And so if you are, if a person has violated you, then you need to identify how they violated you.
Yeah.
Was it something where they slept with each other?
Was it the first
Was it the first time, the second time, the third time, the fifth time, the fourth time? Is it the same individual? Is it someone else? Is it a man? Is it a woman? What's going on? Yeah. I need details. But if it's a situation and you guys found out that he or she was having an affair, then if you guys want to stay together, the question now is, what do we do? How was it violated? And if it was violated with the phone and it started off with the phone conversation, if it started out of giving them passwords, then what you got to do is, if that person loves you, they got to hand over passwords to phones, passwords to Facebook, Instagram, anything that causes the door to open says me. You've got to hand all of that information to them.
And that's not always a success. I saw this guy violate his marriage.
Yeah.
And he was in ministry. And you know, they didn't separate where he went to another home.
Okay.
But you know, they separated in the home. And she demanded all of his passwords. She demanded all the access to everything, his phone, and it took them some years. I mean, it took them some years. It was to the point where sometimes he wouldn't even answer the phone for me. So it took him some years to fix that after he had violated. And I think the only reason that it did work is because, and I know he went through some pressure in that, but the only reason it did work because he did everything that she asked, line upon line, precept upon precept, to build and to gain her trust back. And that's how he did that. And now it's not gonna work. And I wouldn't advise somebody to go back with somebody that have violated you if you consistently getting signs of mistrust. Why I supported him is because he did everything. Even when we met one night just to talk. She right then, bam, knew where he was, who was in the car with him, and if you violate, and I just want to talk to the violator for a minute. If you are the violator, and you have done this, but you want to remain married and you want to fix it, you have to be in a position that you're going to give up all rights, and not give up all rights for 6 months. No, you got to give up all rights until that partner feels that they're safe with you again.
Yeah.
You got to give up all rights. And if you ain't willing to give up all rights until that partner feels safe, and it may take them a year, it may take them 2 years. If you're not ready to do that, then brother or sister, you might as well go on about your business.
And it won't be a fight. It won't be a fight.
No,
they will willingly do it. You don't even have to ask them. They willingly would do it because they realize I hurt you deeply. I violated. I violate. What do you mean?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. They violated, and they have to willingly do it. That means that whatever I gotta do we have to move? We gonna have to move. But if you move with the same behavior, then you just moved.
Yeah.
One girl said, once a cheater, always a cheater. Do I believe that cheaters can change? I believe that if you were violated the first time, you need to find out what happened. Because like I said, everybody doesn't think like myself and Fred, because you have to find what works for both of you. However, if a person cheated on you, something happened there. We don't know what happened. However, if you have a dialogue with the person that violated you, you need to go to the crevice as to what happened.
Yeah.
And give it, if you guys decide to be together, you have to give it a period of time. You can't put a time frame on it. I mean, I'm not giving you 6 months. I'm going to give you a year. Love is patient.
I was going to say the same thing.
It's patient. And so if I love you, I got to be patient enough to forgive you. But I love you enough to get you to that point. But you got to love me enough to have patience with me that I'm not going to be so nice to you at night. I might want to sleep in another room, or I may snap at you because I'm still dealing with pain.
Yeah.
And so it takes it's a hard lesson, but the key is to learn it. The key is to learn it. But if you are with someone and they have a history of cheating, then you got a problem.
Access it's all about,
the access.
And I know before we leave, the access is important.
Yeah.
I would say, and you can speak to women, let me speak to men for a minute.
Okay.
If you have problems in your marriage, could be problems where you and your wife are not as intimate as you would, or you're having issues of trust, or and sometimes it's just outside influences that frustrates your life, and the next thing you know, you don't have no idea. I will say this to you: don't allow yourself to be persuaded any type of way, not even by male friends, because sometimes it can be the Negroes that you're talking with and you expressing yourself, and they give you bad advice because they're already living a wretched life. To you men in that position, I'm gonna tell you to go back and listen, and I know everybody ain't saved, but I do believe that we believe in God. If nothing else, you may not be a churchgoer, but you believe that there's a God. I would tell you the first thing you need to do is go back before God for yourself, and then go back to God for your wife, and make sure that you don't allow yourself to open up no doors because you're in a moment of frustration. Because it's just for a moment. It's all in the way that you handle it. Don't open doors. No conversations. Listen, no messenger conversations. No Facebook, what do they call them? Comments up under your stuff. No, nothing. Don't allow yourself to open up in the door, because some of you, and I'm going to say some of you are too weak to make it past an open door.
A young man went up the timeline and he said, who cheated first? And so I think at this point, just to answer that, who cares who cheated first?
Yeah, because we're talking to men and women.
Yeah, because I think a lot of time what happens is The Bible, and we're going to go by what we believe. It says love keeps no record of wrong. So in the retrospect of what you were saying, are you saying it depends on who cheated first? If a person cheats first, it doesn't give you a right to cheat back.
Yeah, you might need to just move on.
I mean,
You're
so
wasting your time.
So y'all gonna have an open relationship or troubling is what you call it. Yeah. So all kind of things happen.
Are you taking
today.
revenge or in it or you know?
Yeah, there's some people that believe that if my husband or my wife cheats, then I have a right to cheat back. No, you don't.
Because God's still gonna get you.
No, you don't. You don't have a right to cheat back. You don't. I remember counseling a couple, and I said this plenty of times before, where the husband cheated and he was so sorrowful, and she said, "Look, I want to cheat back."
That's what she said.
She said, "If you want this marriage, I'm gonna cheat back. Not only am I gonna cheat back, he gotta pick me up from the house." I promise you, this is a true story. I don't practice lying. I could move underneath the unction of the Holy Spirit the way that I do if I was a liar. When I tell you, he cried, but he let her do it. He let her do it. She said he got to pick me up. She got dressed while this man picked her up. And he had to deal with it because he cheated. And he said, if this is the price I got to pay, I'll pay it. Now, I don't know what happened after that. I don't know if she said, drive me around the corner or not. I don't know. But all I know is this is what he did, and they had been. He had to deal with the consequences. Yeah, I think that's what she did. She just messed with his imagination, and I think those are games that somebody gonna get killed. However, I think that you shouldn't play. Marriage is for the mature.
Oh.
Marriage is for the mature. Relationships
Put that in the comments.
Should be for the mature of any sort. Relationships should be with two mature people.
Well, especially marriage.
Two adults, but especially marriage. So I think it doesn't matter who cheats first. I think the bottom line is, I think that you should be very mindful that there's penalty in everything.
There's a penalty.
There's a cause and there's an effect. Right? All right, we're going to get out of here very soon. I love you guys. My husband and I will be doing coupling. We took a little break for a little bit, but we are back. I will see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for being part of the Car Chronicles movement, Unity Church International. Thank you for being part of God's Men on Deck. And of course, I will see you guys in the morning at 7:30. Let me tell you something. Coupling is back. We took a little break, but we good.
We've been building
the
Lord's house.
Amen. Glory to God. Y'all come on out. We're going to be having service. We want you guys to understand. Stop cheating on each other. Stop it. If you're going to cheat on each other, don't even waste each other's time. Relationships, not just marriage. We are big on marriage because we're married. But relationships really could be amazing if you put the right formulas in it. Right?
It's just work.
It's work.
It's work.
It's work.
So if you ain't ready to work, get out. But if you're ready to work, let's do this.
Let's do this. Be faithful to each other. Trust me. Everybody like to sleep at night. Right, Fred?
Right. Be looking out for our coupling conference that's going to come at the end of the year.
It sure is. I love you.
All right.
Bye.